Boys and girls, good morning. This is reading our math mini lesson for today. And what we're doing is we are continuing on. We're going to do some more practice with division. Okay? I want you to remember our steps, the most important thing. And what I'm hearing a lot when I ask for some feedback and we talk about it, it's just remembering the steps. So I'm asking you, imploring you to please do your best to remember our long division anchor chart. Do your best to remember that it is divide. Do your best to remember that it is multiply. Do your best to remember that it is subtract. And please do your best to remember that you then drop down the next number. Ooh, that is a terrible down arrow. However, depending on how many digits, the problem is not done after you drop a number. You're gonna have to restart the process all over again. Okay? Repeat. So let's just take a look at some numbers and just work through dividing them. I want to start with a 2-digit, move on to a 3-digit, and then a 4-digit for this lesson. Okay? So first things first, let's do 2, oh no, you know what, 2, 2, if you are dividing, oh my arrow erased. If you are dividing a number by 2, I want to tell you guys something. You are just splitting that number in half. So if you are dividing an even number by 2, you will never have a remainder. For instance, 58. 8 is an even number, right? I can tell you right now, this will not have a remainder. And I'll prove it to you if you want, because look, 2 goes into 5 2 times, 4, drop the 8, 18, 2 goes into 18 9 times, 9 times 2 is 18, subtract 0. If I had the number 1,000,006, that 6 at the end makes it an even number. You're splitting it up. It'd be, 500,003. When you are dividing a number, an even number, by 2, there will never be a remainder. Odd numbers, yeah, but even numbers, you will never have a remainder. And that's just what I wanted to quickly brush on as I thought about the number 2 there. So anyway, let's look at the number, let's look at 83 divided by 3. Okay? 83 divided by 3. Our first step, number 1 right here, is how many times can 3 go into 8? If you have to skip count and you don't know your multiplication facts, that's fine. 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh. If I go 3, 6, 9, 3 times 3 is 9. 9 is greater than 8, so it's not 3 times 3. 3 times 3, 6. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 is as close as I can get to the number 8 without going over it. It does not divide into 8 evenly, or it does not go into 8 evenly. So 3 times 2, you put the 2 above on the bracket. And then you multiply that bad boy. That's step 2, multiply. In this case, it's going to be 3 times 2. It's always this number, the divisor, times the number you're putting up here. We've put 2 up here, 3 times 2. You know what, I just realized this green is kind of light. I'm gonna come here behind the camera and make sure, yeah, it looks like you can kind of see it. 3 times 2 is 6. All right. Then we subtract. You subtract this number, the number that's underneath. 8 minus 6 is 2. That's step 3, is that subtraction. And then we'll go to step 4, which is simply drop the next number. So that last D stands for you drop. So then if you drop it, it becomes 23. All right, we've dropped our number. Then we just repeat the process. Go all the way back up to step 1. We are dividing again. We're back at the top of the heap. So that would mean that we're trying to figure out how many times 3 goes into 23. We're done up here. We're done with this 8. We're down here. How many times does 3 go into 23? Well, skip count again if you want. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. Ooh, 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 7 is 21. Do you guys understand now why I have you practice your multiplication facts? Then you multiply 3 times 7 now. 3 times 7 is 21. 23 minus 21 is 2. Remainder 2. 27 remainder 2. Okay? That is all we are really worried about doing. We need to understand that there is a logical order, maybe not super logical for all of us, but there's an order that we need to follow when we are doing this division. There are steps that we take. There's a way we do it. And if you do it this way, you follow the steps and you do your multiplication correctly, you do your subtraction correctly, you will get the right quotient. And like I've been saying, you can also check your work. So you take your quotient, 27 times the divisor, 3. 3 times 7 is 21, carry the 2. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. You multiply the divisor by the quotient, then you add the remainder, and you can get the right answer. You check and make sure you get the right answer. Bam, 83. If that number and that number match, then you have done your work correctly. So in theory, if you are willing to take the extra time, if you have the initiative to check your work, you should get 100s on this, because you can do the multiplication and go, oh, I got the wrong answer, or I got that right. Okay? So I want to take a second now, and I want to look at a 3-digit number divided by 1 digit. Let's do 649 divided by, let's keep that 3 train rolling. Okay? And I always like to put the steps right here, D, M, S, D. Oh, my last D there looked more like a P, huh? Divide, multiply, subtract, and drop. And repeat the process over. All right, our first step is divide. How many times does 3 go into 6? 3, 6, oh, that's 2. The 2 goes up above our 6 here. Then we multiply. 3 times 2, that's 6. 6 6 minus 6 is 0. I've done my subtraction. All right, now I'm dropping. What am I dropping? 4. You'll notice that even though that's 6 minus 6, and that's 0, we're still dropping that 4 down next to it. Okay? Then 3 into 4, we're repeating the process over now. Now we have the number 4. 3 goes into 4 how many times? Well, there's only 1 3 in 4, because 3 times 2 is 6. 6 is greater than 4. 3 times 1 is 3. That is less than 4. Subtract. That's 1. And we drop 19. How many times is 3 going to 19? 3, 6, 12, or 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. 3 times 6 is 18. 6 times 3 is 18. 19 minus 18 is 1. Bam. Remainder 1. How are we feeling about that? Are these little mini lessons where I just work through some, all I can really do is show you guys, okay? It's kind of the frustrating thing about virtual teaching. Probably the one thing that I don't like as much about it is that I can't see your faces out there going like confused. And I work with you in small groups, and I see the work that some of you do. I mean, you don't, obviously not all of you do the work I assign, so my hope is that these videos help you understand the process, help show you how exactly we put these steps into action. All I can do is ask you to please do your fact fluency. All I can do is ask you to watch these videos and combine the knowledge that I'm giving you and how to do it. I mean, this is the way I was taught. This is probably the way your parents were taught, or whoever, your guardian, whoever may be watching you. This is the standard division algorithm. This is the way division is done, long division. I think it's fun, personally. I dig it. I like multiplication and division, though. I'm not the biggest math buff in the world. That's Mr. Myers. He's the math guy. But long division and multiplication are fun. Anyway, 216, our quotient is 216, remainder 1. And once again, check your work. It's going to be 216 times 3, our quotient, times the divisor. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. 648. Oh, we're not there yet. Oh, gotta add the remainder, guys. Oh, yeah, 649. Boom. Okay. And because I'm a man of my word, I gotta check my time here. We've got one more I want to do. Divide, multiply, subtract, and drop. Repeat the process. We're going to do a 4-digit divided by 1. I'm going to do 7,268 divided by 5. I can tell you that that's going to have a remainder because 5 will divide evenly into a number that has 0 or 5 at the end, but this has an 8, so we're going to have a remainder, and that's okay. All right, first step, divide. How many times does 5 go into 7? Well, there's only 1 5 and 7. 1 times 5 is 5. Subtract, when we multiply, step 2. Now we're subtracting, step 3. 7 minus 5 is 2. Step 4, drop it. 5 goes into 22 4 times. 5 times 4 is 20. subtract 22 minus 20 is 2. I'm going to drop the next number, makes 26. Repeat, how many times is 5 going to 26? 4 times, oh no, actually 5 times, right? 5 times 5 is 25. 26 minus 25 is 1. Drop that, that's 8. How many times is 5 going to 18? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 5, 10, 15, 20. 5 times 4 is too much. 5 times 3 is 15. Subtract. 18 minus 15 is 3. Remainder 3. Check our work. 1,453 times 5. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 1 is 26. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 is 22. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. 7,265. Add that remainder 3, that gives us 7,268, which is what our dividend was. That's the process, guys, and I'm going to keep going over this with you. The assignment today has you working through more problems, and practice makes perfect. That's all there is to it, okay? So I'm going to keep hammering this home to you. You got to keep working on this. You've got to memorize this. This is the important stuff for this grade level. Multiplying, dividing, adding these big numbers, figuring out these word problems. All the stuff we've been working on. It's just critical. All right, when we're done with this, we're going to move on to geometry, which will kind of, ease our brains off of this stuff. That's probably going to be the beginning of the year next year, or the next grading period when we come back from Christmas break. I'd like to finish this stuff up before then, all right? All right, guys, please email me if you need help. I'm here to help. Got it?